Narrator voiceover. In a quiet corner of Bekasi, there stands a clinic known for its eerie and unsettling presence. This clinic isn't just a place for healing, but one that hides many untold stories. Night after night, the nurses working here face things they can't explain. This is the story of Sinta, a young nurse who has just started her shift at this very clinic. Cut to Sinta standing in front of the clinic door, looking inside with a hint of hesitation. She checks her watch and walks in. Sinta to herself, another night shift. I hope it's a quiet night. The clinic is silent and empty. Sinta walks to the reception desk, enters a code to unlock the nurse's station. Sinta checks the list of patients scheduled for the night. In the nurse's room, the flickering fluorescent lights give off a cold, sterile atmosphere. Sinta opens the medicine cabinet and starts preparing the supplies for the patients arriving that night. Sinta to herself, reading the patient list. 2 patients tonight, 1 for inpatient care, and 1 for a consultation. I need to stay alert, just focus. Sinta sits at the desk and starts typing on the computer. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps echoes from the empty hallway. She looks up, but there is no one. Narrator voiceover. Since she started working here, Sinta had already begun to feel strange things. The sound of footsteps in an empty hallway, shadows moving quickly in the corner of her eye. But she chose to ignore it. After all, how could a place that treats the sick be so terrifying? Sinta goes back to typing, but the footsteps are heard again, much closer now. She looks up and sees an old man at the end of the hallway. The man is wearing hospital pajamas. Sinta, surprised, nearly falling off her chair. Sir, are you registered in the inpatient ward? Old man nodding slowly, his voice raspy. Yes, I just moved to a new room. The old man walks away, but Sinta feels something isn't right. She doesn't remember any patients being moved. Sinta to herself, where did he come from? The inpatient ward is empty tonight. Sinta tries to shake off her unease and continues with her work. At around 2 a.m., an alarm goes off in one of the patient rooms. Sinta quickly heads toward the inpatient ward. When she opens the door, the room is empty. Sinta, surprised, speaking quietly, why is the alarm going off? Didn't I? Sinta walks into the room, but something catches her eye in the corner, a shadowy figure standing there. Narrator voiceover. In that dark inpatient room, Sinta felt something was off. The atmosphere was thick with a chilling presence. The air was colder, and it felt like something was watching her from the corner of the room. Sinta approaches, and suddenly the shadow disappears. She quickly turns and shuts the door. Sinta to herself, frightened. What was that? Who was that? Sinta hurries back to the reception desk, trying to calm herself down. In the nurse's room, Sinta sits looking uneasy. Her senior colleague, Lena, walks over. Lena smiling knowingly, sensing Sinta's discomfort. You look pale. Sinta, what happened? Sinta, hesitant. Just now, there was something in the inpatient room. A shadow, or maybe I'm just imagining things. Lena chuckling softly but with a serious tone. Oh, that's not uncommon around here. This clinic has a lot of stories. Some of us have worked here for decades, and we can feel that something is different. You know, this place used to be a mental hospital. Many patients died here under tragic circumstances, and some of them never left. Sinta, shocked. So, we're saying it's haunted. Lena, serious. It's not just ghosts. These are souls that are stuck, leaving traces behind. They can appear at any time. Footsteps, doors opening by themselves, it's all normal here. In the nurse's room, Sinta sits looking uneasy. Her senior colleague, Lena, walks over. Lena smiling knowingly, sensing Sinta's discomfort. You look pale. Sinta, what happened? Sinta, hesitant. Just now, there was something in the inpatient room. A shadow, or maybe I'm just imagining things. Lena chuckling softly but with a serious tone. Oh, that's not uncommon around here. This clinic has a lot of stories. Some of us have worked here for decades, and we can feel that something is different. You know, this place used to be a mental hospital. Many patients died here under tragic circumstances, and some of them never left. Sinta, shocked. So, we're saying it's haunted. Lena, serious. It's not just ghosts. These are souls that are stuck, leaving traces behind. They can appear at any time. Footsteps, doors opening by themselves. It's all normal here. Later that night, Cinta heads back to the inpatient room to check on a patient. As she turns on the lights, a young woman suddenly appears at the end of the room. Cinta, surprised, stepping forward. "Excuse me, are you a new patient? What's going on?" The woman stands still, her face pale, her eyes vacant. Cinta approaching, but the woman disappears suddenly. What was that? Suddenly, Cinta hears the sound of a baby crying coming from the next room. She rushes toward the sound. Narrator voiceover. The crying filled the entire clinic, suffocating the air. But when Cinta opened the door, the room was empty. There was no baby, only the suffocating silence. Cinta runs down the hall and she sees several doors opening by themselves. The atmosphere is spiraling out of control. Cinta, panicking, calling out to Lena. "Lena, there's a baby crying. I can't take it anymore." Lena calmly, yet with a worried expression. "You need to be ready, Cinta. This is the test. This place is full of strange occurrences. Some choose to leave, some choose to stay." Cinta sits in the nurse's room, exhausted and frightened. Lena approaches her. Cinta tearfully, "Exhausted? I can't do this anymore. This isn't just fear. It's real." Lena softly, placing a hand on Cinta's. "We've all felt it, but in the end, you have to decide. You can't leave, or you can stay and face what's here. Many leave, but some choose to stay." Cinta looks out the window at the clinic. Despite her fear, she knows there's something bigger than just ghost stories at play here. Narrator voiceover. Cinta decided to stay. Even though she was afraid, she knew that sometimes you have to face things that you don't fully understand, especially when they come from a world that's unseen.